Good morning everyone. My name is Arpit Chansoria and I am teacher of Constitution and Economics for the students who are appearing for UPSC, NDA, CDS exam and as well SSC CGL exam. I told you that I teaches Constitution and Economics for those students. So we are talking about the topic of Regulating Act 1773, which is the topic of political science. It is the first topic of we are discussing about. Okay. So let us know about the Regulating Act 1773. Before we know about the Regulating Act 1773, we should also know about how did the British rule was applied in India, because this was the first act which was applied in India by the British government. Okay, so there was a war fought between Indian king, which is named as Mir Qasim. He was a king of Bengal, and as well from Britisher side, Lord Munro. Okay, so they both fought in a field ground. This is known as Buxar. Buxar is a place nearby Bihar. Okay, so Lord Munro won that war and he started rule in Bengal. He started his rule in Bengal. There was a pact discussed between the after the Buxar war. It is known as Allahabad Pact. In that Bengal, the British East India Company started ruling in the Bengal after in year 1764. Okay, so British East India Company got totally out of the range. There was too much of corruption in the East India Company, and they are totally out of their range. So British government took an act named as Regulating Act 1773. It is clear from its name. The name is regulating. See about the name, regulating. The mother word of in regulating word is regulate. The meaning of regulate is known as in Hindi is Niyaman. Niyaman means it's the meaning of controlation. So it was an act for the control over East India Company by the British government. So let's discuss about the points why regulating act became mandatory to take in India to control East India Company. Let's know about the reasons. The first reason was to monitor the activities of East India Company. To monitor the activities of East India Company. As well, I told you that East India Company totally out of their way. So it was a mandatory thing to control the East India Company by the British government. This act was taken by the British Prime Minister at that time, known as Lord North. His name was Lord North, also known as Frederick North. His name was Lord North, or he is also known as Frederick North. This is the first reason to take Regulating Act in India. The second reason behind the Regulating Act is to create few changes in the administration of East India Company. We will know about what changes was done in East India Company, but we should know that second reason is to create few changes in administration of East India Company. EIC means is through East India Company. Third reason is to finish the Diarchy in West Bengal, which was applied by Lord Clive. After the Buxar war, there was a pact signature between Shujaudollah. His name was Shujaudollah. He was the emperor of Awadh. Awadh is an area located nearby the Lucknow side. Shujaudollah was fighting battle with collaborated with the king of Bengal, Mir Qasim, but he cheated him and he applied a pact with British East India Company, which is known as Allahabad Pact. According to that Allahabad Pact, the British East India Company started their rule in Bengal, as well I told you. Okay. Then after East India Company started, Diarchy in West Bengal. What is the meaning of duchy? Duchy is the meaning of two rulers. Okay, two rulers. How did the two rulers work at the same place? The administration was applied by the East India Company. The administration was applied by the East India Company. East India companies take their eye on administration, and the taxes was applied by the king. So there was two rulers in Bengal. So it is also known as duchy in West Bengal. No, sorry, not that time West Bengal. There was only Bengal. Joint Bengal, named as Joint Bengal, which is today's Bangladesh and our West Bengal. Okay. So it was applied by Lord Clive. Okay. Okay. So in the first part we knew about what was the reasons behind Regulating Act 1773. And now we know about what was this act including with. Okay. So the first thing this act included with, the main thing is Governor General of Bengal post, replaced by the post of Governor General of Bengal. Just think, here is the post only named as Governor, but here the post name is changed as Governor General. Okay, the highest post of East India Company was the Governor, but now this post is replaced by the Governor General. And who was the first Governor General of Bengal? The first Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings. Who was the first Governor of Bengal? Governor General of Bengal, Lord Warren Hastings. Okay, this post was appointed by the British government. So this is the first thing we should know about. This is the first thing we should know about, that the Governor General of Bengal, who appoints the Governor General of Bengal? British government. Okay, why? To take controlation over East India Company. Simple सा है. To take controlation over East India Company. It is very simple to know about. Why was the Governor General post being created? The Governor General post being created to controlation on East India Company. And who appoints the Governor General? The Governor General of Bengal was appointed by the British government from Britain. Okay. So the first person who became the Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings. Okay, and the second thing we should know about this post, that there was two more governors before this act. There was two more governors in city. The three biggest cities of India that at that time first was Kolkata, second was Madras, which you know about Madras, and the third city was Bombay. The third city was Bombay, which is known as Mumbai current time, and the Madras is known as Chennai. There was two more governors in these cities. Okay, so the governor of both cities became under the rule of Governor General. Now the Governor General became the first post of East India Company. And who appoints the Governor General? Governor General appointed by the British government. Okay, so now British government took the totally hand on East India Company. The second point is tenure of Court of Director extended from 1 year to 4 years. Before this act, the tenure of Court of Director was 1 year. After this act, the tenure of Court of Director extended from 1 year to 4 years. Now listen carefully, okay? The number of members in Court of Directors was 24. Okay, it is okay. Okay, the thing is to remember what was the number in Court of Director of members of Court of Director. There was the number of Court of Director of members was 24. Okay, but now listen this thing carefully, which is divided in 1/4 per year. You should know about what is the process of Rajya Sabha election. If you know about the Rajya Sabha election, this thing is very easy to understand. The number of members in Rajya Sabha, the tenure of members of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. But 1/3 number of Rajya Sabha members extended in every 2 years. They retire in every 2 years. So the 1/4 number of this number retires in every 1 year. 6 4 ja 24, and what was the tenure of this? 4 years. So 25% members retires in every year, and 25% selected newly in every year. Okay, so now let's come to the third point. Our third point, listen carefully. There are 4 executive members appointed to give suggestions to Governor General. There are 4 executive members who gives suggestion. What should he do or what should he don't do? These were the work of executive members who gives their suggestion, just suggestions, not orders. Suggestions to Governor General. And who was the 4 executive members? Sir Philip Francis, Sir Twain, Sir Manson, and Sir Bowen. These are the 4 members who are appointed as executive members. First 4 members, not fixed members. They are the first 4 members who are appointed as executive members. Okay. Now come at the 4th point. Licensing became compulsory to business for members. There was no licensing way before the Regulating Act 1773. Every person of East India Company can do anything in business before this act. But now after this act became compulsory thing, licensing to do business for the members of East India Company. So licensing was introduced first time to do business in India. Okay. Now come to the 5th point. A court was established in Fort Williams. This is a civil court. Okay. This is not a court like court of directors. This is a civil court which runs currently to as you know about state court, high court, which is known as high court, Supreme Court. So the court was introduced also first time in India, which was known as Apex Court. Which was known as Apex Court in 1774. First thing we should know about the Act is 1773. But the Apex Court, when was Apex Court established? 1774. And one more thing to remember about, where did it established? In Fort Williams, Calcutta. 3 states became under this act. First was today's Bengal. Second was the criteria of this court was not the states was not divided at that time, but we should know about the criteria of that this act. The criteria of this act was in today's Bihar, Bengal, and Odisha. Not just today's Bengal, it is included. I already told you it is included with Bangladesh too. Remember, always remember. Okay. And the last thing to remember about this act. Let's know about the numbers of judges. In the Apex Court, the number of judges was 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3. It means total 4 judges, which is divided as 1 plus 3. 1 is the Chief Justice and 3 other judges. Who was the Chief Justice? The Chief Justice, the Sir Eliza Impey. Remember the name? Sir Eliza Impey became the first Chief Justice of Apex Court. Sir Eliza Impey became the first Chief Justice of Apex Court. And one more interesting thing. The first High Court was established in India in 1862. This Apex Court, the building of this Apex Court changed into the High Court of Bengal. Not High Court of Bengal, it's High Court of Kolkata. It is known today also High Court of Kolkata, not High Court of Bengal. Okay. Sixth thing to remember in this topic is officers and employees of East India Company restricted to take gifts from the local people. Okay. Officers and employees of East India Company. As well, I told you the motive of this act is to finish the corruption. Which was broadly separated in East India Company. So to stop the corruption in East India Company, the British government take this act and clarify this point. Officers and employees cannot take officers and employees now cannot take any gifts from the local people to stop the corruption. Okay, so that's all. This was a totally thing to remember in Regulating Act 1773. Nothing else. Thank you so much.